All right, so tonight's homework is on compare and contrast writing. At the end of the presentation, you'll have a better understanding of how to structure a compare and contrast written assignment. Let's dive in. So, some things to consider when you're doing compare and contrast writing. Let's just go ahead and make a simple little T-chart. It's not really a full table that is necessary here, but I'm just giving you some basic ideas, vocabulary, and definition, and some things just to think about when you're comparing and contrasting. So the word comparing means to show similarities in two different subjects, and contrasting means showing the differences. Whereas when you are picking your topic that you're going to compare and contrast, you need to know that you have to have at least two subjects that you're comparing and contrasting. You need to know as many different attributes of those topics that you can think of. 15 to 20 is pretty suggested. So for example, if you were comparing Doritos to Lay's potato chips, if you could come up with at least 10 to 15 items for Doritos and 10 to 15 items for potato chips, I think that would be pretty adequate. And then it'd give you a lot of information to talk about and to figure out, what you're going to be talking about, whether you're comparing or contrasting. So before writing, it's really important that you think about, what am I going to do here? Am I going to do just contrasting? Am I going to do comparing? Or am I going to do both? Reason being, that could significantly limit the amount of attributes and things that you figure out for each topic, because if you don't need to know both similarities and differences, then you don't need to look for those types of topics, right? So something to think about, if you're asked to write just a single paragraph, I would pick one or the other. I just don't think that you can give enough details and examples if you're going to do both in a single paragraph. But once you hit multi-paragraph, then you can do one or the other still, or you can do both, right? So really think about what you're being asked to do and what's the best usage of your time and writing skills. All right, some words that signify that you are comparing and contrasting. Here's some comparing words: same, similar, alike, similarities, common, comparable. And then some contrasting words: different, unalike, vary, differences, differ, variations, opposite, opposing. Don't forget you have that little tent thing that I put on your tables when we're doing bigger writing assignments that has a whole bunch of words as well, and sentence frames to help when we're doing compare and contrast writing. All right, so some example topic sentences or thesis sentences, depending on if you're doing a single or multi-paragraph writing. Simple declarative is just where you're simply stating what it is you're going to be talking about. The United States have various climate zones, or all mammals have similarities. Number statement: the planets in our solar system are alike in several ways. So number statement is different in that you're actually giving either words like several, or you're actually giving a physical number, like the planets in our solar systems are alike in 5 different ways, right? So you're giving an actual number. Question is where you ask a question about the two subjects that you're actually comparing, contrasting, or both, or whatever. I would really stay away from asking questions. Just a lot of teachers just really don't like it. It's kind of a cop-out. I would definitely try to elevate your writing style by not asking a question, if at all possible. All right, a situation, stance, sentence. We've talked about these before. It's basically where you're talking about your topic and talking about what your specific position is on that topic. So, for example, the second one here: when you visit California and Florida, you'll notice that they have more in common than just warm weather. So, you're telling me the topic, or the situation, which is California and Florida, and then you're telling me your stance on it, which is that you're going to be comparing them. Fanboys is similar to situation stance. You're just making sure that you're using for, and, nor, but, or. What's the why for? I'm having a total brain fart on that. Anyways, you're using one of those conjunction words after your comma to make it a fanboy sentence. So laptop computers and tablet computers are different, yet. That's what it is, yet. I was like, what is the why for? I can't remember. Okay. So yet they share some obvious similarities. So very similar to situation stance, you're just making sure that you're using those specific conjunction words. Semicolon. So this is also very similar to the situation stance. It's just at the end or after the semicolon, you're then listing off some of the things you're going to be talking about, some of your main ideas. So elementary students and high school students are different. However, their teachers share similar concerns about their progress. So not only are you going to be comparing and contrasting high school students to elementary students, you're also going to be talking about how teachers have concerns on their progress for both that are similar or whatever. So you're actually stating what some of your topics are going to be. All right, here are some fill in the blank examples that I thought also were pretty good. So the differences, so you can either say differences or similarities between blank and blank, so topic 1, topic 2, are pronounced or striking, and they deserve or merit rigorous or thorough, investigation, scrutiny, examination, whatever. You can pick one of those and just pop them in. So the differences between middle schoolers and high schoolers are pronounced and they deserve thorough investigation. Or the similarities between John Green and Rainbow Rowell are striking and merit thorough examination. So just kind of throwing those in there, some good words to use to kind of elevate your writing. All right, some things to think about when it's all about grading or scoring a compare-contrast essay. So with your ideas, they need to have some meaning and important ideas to convey, and it's critical to choose the right characteristics that you're going to compare and contrast. I would say it's definitely important if you're looking at trying to find 10 to 15, 15 to 20 different attributes on each topic that you then go through and kind of narrow it down. Like you don't have to talk about every single one of those. So pick the really, the critical ones that you want to talk about. As far as organization, especially in a multi-paragraph essay, focus on the idea of if you're comparing, contrasting, or doing both, and organize your paragraphs accordingly. So you should include an intro and a conclusion, and then a part of the body will be definitely trying to figure out where you're placing the paragraphs. Like, are you going to talk about just topic 1 and just topic 2, and within that talk about the similarities and differences, or are you going to do a paragraph for similarities and then a paragraph for differences? That's where the organization comes in. That's where you kind of stylize your writing. Sentence fluency, you just need to constantly be aware of the types of sentences you're using in your writing. We should see a variety. So I shouldn't see a lot of simple sentences, and on the flip side of that, I shouldn't see a ton of complex compound sentences. There should be a variety. As far as word choice is concerned, really focus on replacing overused, everybody says it all the time like that, and instead focus on some more unusual and precise words. Often content-specific vocabulary should be smoothly integrated into your writing, and that will improve the piece tremendously. Some of the student example ones that I've shown you, especially when we were doing like the author purpose and point of view unit, we saw people using words like infer and connotation and things like that. So academic vocabulary that is really integrated smoothly into the text, and it makes it so much better. And you can work on word choice through the revision process. Fussy writers are always in search of just the right word, so you need to start thinking about words and how important they are, each specific word that you choose. And then conventions, just be the best editor you can be and spot those grammar and spelling mistakes before turning it in. Your teacher is not your editor. A little harken back to when we talked about revising and editing. All right, you're finished. Don't forget to do the summary and hot question for tonight's homework, and I will be grading it in class. Thanks, guys.